wonderful lady. She and I worked together for a long time. I was the RN, she was an LPN, and then we would have a nursing assistant or two at night, and we just ran. And she and I became really good friends. And after a while, she just broke down. She goes, "I got to tell you something." And, she got to tell you why I'm here from Denver. And, sure, what happened? She was a nurse in Denver, and her boyfriend, the love of her life, was doing some sort of construction work. Now, this is third hand. I did not know the boyfriend. I never saw the area. I'm quoting what she told me. So this is not my experience. I'm telling it as best as I can recall, which is pretty darn accurate.
Sure.
So anyway, he was doing some construction work. He was working where she said was underneath the Denver airport. He was doing something. He had a designated area that he was supposed to be and not be anywhere else. Something happened. He wandered off and got lost. He went down huge hallways with very wide and very tall with huge doors. And he was, why is everything so big? And as he wanders down, one door was open a little bit. So he went inside, and it was a washroom, a restroom, except it just had toilets in stalls. And he said that the top of each toilet was about 6 feet tall, that the toilet itself was massive, about a 6 foot tall toilet in each one of the stalls. Huh. And he couldn't even see the top. He had to kind of stand back. He could kind of see that the lid was down. And then there was a counter opposite where the toilets were. And he went against the opposite wall. He could look at it, and it was a faucet where you'd wash your hand. There was no mirror in front of it like most restrooms would have. And he just wondered, why is this so big? It's just this huge toilets and a huge sink. What's going on? And then security comes in and gets him. He gets in a lot of trouble. And they say, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be there. And they take him back to his area and finishes his shift. He goes home. She's home. He tells her what's happening. And, I think, well, this is weird. Hope you don't get in trouble. The next day, she goes to work. And when she gets home, he's not there. And generally, he's there before she is. She waits around for him. He doesn't show up. His keys are there. His keys are still in the apartment where they live. And he doesn't show up. And she calls his family, and they haven't seen him. And, days go by, and they report him as a missing person. And no one's seen him. His Jeep was found out of town, abandoned. And how it got there, because the keys are still in the apartment. Left his dog, left his clothes, left everything. And she waited for a year for him to come back, because this is her soulmate. This is the man that she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. This is her, her honey. And she was terrified. What happened? Did it have anything to do with what he had seen the day before? And she was telling me this because she's mourning the loss of the love of her life. Not that she's into giant toilets or anything, but it was just kind of incidental. And she told me this multiple times, and would just shake and cry and mourn this man. And he never showed up. No one ever saw him again. And she told it to several of us that worked there, and I've told it to several people. But it wasn't until, recently, when I'm starting to really, become a member of the UFO community, that I heard about giants and stuff underground. And then my experience with some beings underground too, which happened later, that really brought this all to reality. Wow. Something's going on. And I don't know when the current airport was actually built, but maybe something was built underground first.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. What year would you have guessed this was that she?
I'm going to guess it was probably late 1980s.
Right. Okay.
Because I probably met her in 90 or 91. I don't know how long she had been in Arizona already, but this sounded pretty recent. So it was probably a couple years before. And then she waited a year before she left because she kept thinking he's going to show up. Something's going to happen. She wanted to keep the apartment in case he needed her. One day there's a knock at the door and there he is. And finally gave up.
And it sounds like he was at least around long enough to tell her, hey, listen to this crazy thing that happened. And then not long after, he's gone.
The next day. The next day.
Okay.
That was, the night that this happened, he told her what happened. And then the next day she goes to work and never sees him again. I believe, he was leaving for work too. But, how did his keys stay inside? Yeah. How did his car get out and, out of town without the keys? And, did he leave for work and come back? I don't know. There's just too many questions.